Hello, I am commenting on the movie End of Evangelion. I am choosing the pyramid scene where we see a manifestation of Shinji, the main character, as a child within his subconscious after a catastrophic event known as human instrumentality has taken place that has merged the entire human race into a collective consciousness to remove human suffering by replacing human insecurities with the strengths of other humans. Take note of the stage light showcasing the metaphor of Shinji being watched throughout the movie by his distant and loveless father. The swing symbolizes time passing and moving forward, and you will see as we go throughout this clip that it's going to go faster or slower depending on the mood of Shinji.
そうだ。チェロを始めた時と同じだ。ここに来たら何かあると思ってた。
Shinji represents the time when he started playing the cello, the importance of that being that he was never told to stop playing the cello since he began to, therefore, he kept playing the cello. Additionally, he talks about how if he came here, referring to Nerve headquarters, where he would be kept to pilot a robot called Eva 1 to fight large monsters called angels, he would find what he was looking for. Bringing two of these ideas together, we can conclude that Shinji came to Nerve to find his purpose in life, to find meaning by doing what he was told to do. Shinji is unhappy without meaning or purpose, and he seeks it out by following others made by his dad or other members of Nerve. Shinji begins to build the sandcastle after other children who represent the two other pilots he knows interacts with, Asuka and Rei, tell him that they should make one, showing happiness. However, the children do not participate in the actual construction of the sandcastle. This reflects the character's role in the story, as they push Shinji to pilot his robot and fight the angels when they often don't follow through with the same amount of participation. The swing starts swinging faster, symbolizing the happiness that Shinji feels when giving a task. It provides him with happiness in return because now he has a purpose. The other kids walk home with their mothers, leaving Shinji. This puts Shinji back in a place of loneliness as we see there is now a chasm between him and the children and his mother, representing his fellow pilots and his mother figure in the movie, Misato, to go on their paths and leave him alone once again. The chasm represents Shinji's mental barrier from following the relationships he has, leaving him stuck with his false purpose. He believes that he is unable to pursue his relationships because they either bring him pain or he believes that other people naturally hate him. Shinji, now sad, is left to finish building the sandcastle. Shinji's mood has worsened now that he is alone, and the swing slows down to match the downshift of his emotions. Even though he has become unhappy, he still builds the sandcastle as he believes it will bring him happiness. In the story, this represents the build up to the climax as the people around him start to drift away and he is more alone than when he began. Shinji now stands before his sandcastle, which resembles Nerve HQ, but finds he is unhappy with the purpose he was tasked with. Instead of finding happiness of giving himself away to the sandcastle, he finds emptiness and sorrow. He also finds that he is completely alone. He then stomps down the castle in anger. It is important to note that during the real events of Shinji's story, he is destined to be the child who destroys and reshapes the world for salvation. He wasn't told of this destiny, only that he needed to save the world from the angels. However, we are caught up with in the story now as the world has been destroyed and everybody has been added to the collective consciousness known as instrumentality. Shinji looks down at the destroyed castle. He is still angry, but he is giving no direction on what to do next. Shinji decides to bend down and begin rebuilding the castle, wiping tears from his face. This shows how he has now a choice between succumbing humanity to instrumentality or bringing humanity back to its flawed state. If he decides to allow instrumentality to continue, the collective consciousness built on fear and pain and flawed humanity will continue. However, by rebuilding the sandcastle, he allows himself not only to find meaning on his own, but by creating something new, but he does so by undoing instrumentality and allowing flawed humans to return to their normal states. This pushes the idea that meaning isn't given by other people, but is found through personal relationships and personal choice, such as when Shinji begins to find and make his purpose by allowing the chance to form these relationships through ending instrumentality. We see for the first half of this clip how Shinji expresses a Sartrean existentialist view in life. Shinji believes that other people cause him pain and suffering, like the Sartrean view that other people are hell. Additionally, Shinji and Sartre share the similar view that other people are shared judgment towards each other and exist to make others suffer. In the film, his friends torture him constantly, with Rei having a much closer relationship to Shinji's father than Shinji does, which brings forth feelings of jealousy and resentment towards both. Asuka always calls out Shinji's flaws and mocks him for his ideas about the world and his views on life. Additionally, Shinji lives his life with as little freedom as possible, relying on other people to make all of his choices for him. This follows the Sartrean idea of freedom being oppressive. Shinji finds freedom too oppressive and daunting, so he relies on other people to make his choices, even ones that could leave him worse off. However, Shinji doesn't stay in this state, as we see in the scene, as we see him evolve towards a Dostoevsky point of view. A big idea in Dostoevsky's existentialist ideals is the idea that people are our salvation, and our purpose derives from suffering and redemption. We see Shinji throughout the movie and show constantly prevent himself from forming these relationships with other people because he believes that people cause him more pain than anything. Throughout his story, however, he does form relationships with these people. He believes that they cause him pain. However, the pain that he is receiving is from the purpose that he is given to him by his father and Nerve. Once instrumentality begins, we see in Shinji's psyche that he realizes that it wasn't the relationships he had that caused him pain, but the fact he didn't pursue the relationships and instead focused on his false purpose. Shinji realizes after he destroys the castle that his purpose caused him pain, and the salvation or redemption for himself is to rebuild his purpose. Dostoevsky believes that other people are our salvation, and Shinji follows through with that idea as he brings an end to instrumentality and allows people the opportunity to recreate relationships with each other and to find happiness once again. Shinji's mindset has changed and evolved to believe that his purpose is to pursue relationships with other people. Shinji's suffering has brought forth the opportunity to find redemption through his new purpose in life. This has been my commentary on the sandbox sequence in the movie End of Evangelion. Thank you.